everything is set up, and I'm here again. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast, and I am back with another book summary from the samuelthomasdavis.com website. And this book is actually called 59 Seconds, so hardly a minute, and this seems to be interesting. I've been going through it a little bit. A lot of things I've seen before I into it or in it, which led me to make the decision to go through it. And if we are too fast, we will actually go through How to Make Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, because I have to go through it as well again, because the thing is, I read a lot, but I do not remember a lot, and this actually shouldn't be the thing. But let's see the book in 3 sentences. Many people are interested in self-help because it offers quick and easy solutions to various issues in their life, which is some kind of true. Some book also offer, some long-term decisions or long-term help. But, in general, it's kind of true. The problem is most self-help techniques are ineffective, which can be obviously true. The third one is, I'm sorry, the last episode always, which is, not that great. And the most effective techniques come straight from the scientific community, which is, some kind of logic, because the scientists have, searched what brain areas do what, why we do something. There are a lot of, human behavior studies, and so on. So it's just some kind of, I won't say obvious, but yeah, some kind of obvious, actually. Let's see the 5 big ideas from this book. The first one is, when people can afford the necessities in life, an increase in income does not result in a significant happier life, which is also something I have been thinking about just pretty long. Even, or especially the last week, I was thinking about, if I have 1 million now, or, people always talk about 1 million, but 1 million isn't that much money, actually. You can't really buy a lot with 1 million. Maybe a house, a few cars, but that's not quite a lot, A lot of people see it as their end goal, but it's actually not that much. It's much, but it's not that much. Yeah, you get what I mean. But the thing is, that's true, and I think if I had just now 1 million in my bank account, I would just do the stuff I would always do. And I'm such a person who doesn't spend a lot of money on at all. I hate spending money, and I'm actually thinking about if this is actually a good flaw or a bad flaw, which actually doesn't make any sense, because good flaws aren't existing, I think, because flaw is always negative. But correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But anyways, I would just do the same thing as I'm doing now. I would just sit here and work on this. Maybe I would have a microphone, an actual one, or some kind of lighting here to make it a little bit better. But the thing is, my money wouldn't just, make this process of becoming more successful on this social media thing I'm doing. This won't make it faster, I think. I could just, make advertising and ads, but, I do not know if I would actually do this. Because as I said, I do not like spending a lot of money. But the second one is to encourage people to do more of something they enjoy. Try to presenting them with the occasional small surprise reward after they have completed the activity, or praise the fruits of their labor. Which is actually something that reminded me on app making, or mobile game making, because you often can see that, especially on or in such meditation apps, I use Headspace, by the way. It's just a great one. This is no advertising, nothing. I don't get paid for saying this. It's just great, and it is some kind of free. But actually, after you have meditated, you get you get 1 day added to your streak, and then your total time of meditation is shown. It is just some kind of praising your effort of meditating, or meditation, and so on. So if you're making an app, maybe consider this. To increase the likelihood of someone liking you, get them to do you a favor. And I think that's actually kind of true, because people like to help people, and this is actually something why I decided to rather help people than making a lot of money. Even though I think by helping people you will get a lot of money, because you're just focusing so much on helping them that the money is just a byproduct of this. Just it's some side thing. You're caring about the people, and money is it's there, but you know what I mean. And I think this is one of the ways to get actually rich, to care about your product and or the people who buy your product, or even if it's a service or something. Fantasizing about your perfect world may make you feel better, but is unlikely to help transform your dreams into reality. So fantasizing about your perfect world, I think there is no such as a perfect world, and this would be very, very boring if everything would be perfect. Because there are no ups and downs, and this is life. Life consists of ups and downs. And I don't know, if everything is running straight and you are achieving everything in your life, you just do more and more and more and more, and then you have everything achieved in your life, and then what would you do now? I don't know. Some research suggests that eating more slowly helps people eat less, perhaps because it fools our brains into thinking that we have eaten more and allows extra time for the body to digest food. This is actually true, and I think that when you are just eating very fast, and I'm a very fast eater, and it contributes me a little bit on my gaining weight journey, because I try to gain weight. I'm not pretty good at it, because I eat a lot of voluminous food, which takes up a lot of space in my tummy and in my gut, and then you can't really eat that much, and and I do not really eat anything unhealthy, and so on and so on. But I think that if you're just eating very, very fast, your body or your mind doesn't really get it that you're actually full, or that you're not hungry anymore. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, true. Tell me in the comments if you know what I mean. I think you get it. 59 seconds summary, and here's the actual summary, and I was going through this other stuff for 8 minutes now. Yeah. Let's go through it. So 59 seconds summary. Happiness doesn't just flow from success, it actually causes it. And this is also something I really emphasize with, because I think if you're really happy by doing what you're doing, you get very, very good at what you're doing. Because, everybody seeks happiness. And if it's making you so happy, what you're doing right now, or at this moment, or at work, or I don't know, it's just actually to get a little bit more light on me, because it's not snowing, but it's some kind of cloudy, a little bit strange. But as I was saying or telling you, I think that if you get so happy by doing what you're doing, you just get really successful at it, because you have that passion, and so on. When people can afford the necessities in life increase, and I've already read that. Materialism takes root in early childhood and is mainly driven by low self-esteem, which can actually be true. I'm just trying to see some kind of connections with, maybe me. Yes, with me, so that I can, explain this a little bit more or put it in another perspective. I'm always trying to put things in other perspectives so that you can see that, this is actually like that. But if I turn it this way, it actually looks a little bit different. And so on, which is a little bit weird, but yeah. Want to buy happiness, then spend your hard-earned cash on experiences. Which is actually true. And the thing is, we don't buy a car. We buy the experience of driving this car, or the experience of, getting all the people looking at us while we're driving with our Lamborghini, which is actually, I think, pronounced like this, Lamborghini. And so we are actually always buying feelings or emotions or experiences and so on and so on. We aren't actually buying the product. In terms of food, we buy food because we are hungry and not because the food is the food. You know where I'm heading? You get it? When it comes to happiness, remember that it is experiences that represent really good value for money, which is totally true. If you want to cheer yourself up, behave like a happy person. This is actually something that's pretty contradictory, because on the first hand, you really can fool your brain by acting very, very happy, or acting like being very happy, because your brain can't really decide what you're thinking and what is reality. Brain can't really decide between those two things. And so the thing is, if you're just acting like you're really, really happy, your brain just means or thinks that you're actually happy. But the thing is, just pushing all the negative emotions away and putting your positivity, your fake positivity in front of it, will make nothing good. It will just cover the negativity up, and you actually do not do anything about the negativity. But the actual thing is that our emotions show us something. They show us that we should actually change something. We have emotions for this. Our emotions aren't there to just, fuck us up. They have an actual meaning, and they make sense, and so on. It's just not like nature was thinking about how to fuck us all up and so on. To maximize happiness, choose intentional over circumstantial change. Okay. If you set children an activity they enjoy and reward them for doing it, the reward reduces the enjoyment and demotivates them. Which actually can be true. I'm just thinking about if they haven't just, told the opposite of one thing in this article. Yes, in this article. So, the opposite of this thing may be a little bit above here. But I may be wrong. Which is actually true, because all the children then just only want the reward afterwards, and the actual process itself is just enjoyable anymore. Which I get what they mean, or what he means, the author means, and so on. To encourage people to do more of something they enjoy, try to presenting them with the occasional small surprise reward after they have completed the activity, or praise the fruits of the labor. So, if you set children an activity they enjoy, reward them for doing it, the reward reduces the enjoyment and demotivates them. Okay, I get this one. To encourage people to do more of something they enjoy, try presenting them with the occasional small surprise reward after they have completed the activity, or praise the fruits of their labor. I think especially praising people is one of the most powerful things you can do while or with dealing with people, or by dealing with people. You know what I mean? Uh, this is actually something I have from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's a pretty great one. Buy it now. Not just joking, but it is a great book, yes. But he was talking about, we are all always praising these little things our kids make, our babies make, and so on. But why don't we just praise everything all the people are doing? If your friend who is 50 makes something good, why don't you tell him that it was so amazing what he did? If your daughter who is now 35, makes a good cake, tell them that this is an incredible cake, or that they're doing something very, very good. I think it's pretty important that we move to another place in our society, because in our society, I think we just only point out the negative things, and the positive ones are just thrown away and they aren't there. But it is not what it is. There are a lot of positive things, and I think, and if you're listening this right now, just hang up, or do not hang up, but the next time you see someone wearing something very cool, and if you maybe slightly know them, because if you do not know them, it may be a little bit strange, but you can do it anyways, yeah? Just tell them this is a great outfit. Or if you're eating at some place, just tell them this was a very, very great food you were eating right now. And so on. You know where I'm heading? This is important at my point of view. But let's see. It seems that presenting weaknesses early is seen as a sign of opaqueness. And what is opaqueness? Copy. I hate Google Translator. And I really love DeepL. It's DEEPL. Okay. And he pretty much translates everything so correctly, really in context, and also using really good words, especially when I only can share the experiences with you by translating English things into German things, to, because I'm a little bit lazy and, it just takes a lot of time, especially for school stuff, and this works pretty great. I mean, pretty great. But let's see, from assessing the effects of bad hair day to performing badly in a group decision, those who feel embarrassed are convinced that their mistakes are far more noticeable than they actually are. Why? It seems we focus on our own looks and behavior more than others, and so are likely to overestimate their impact, which is totally true. And I may be doing it myself, and everybody maybe is. Because we're all thinking everything is about us, but at the end, nobody gives a fuck about you. Maybe your parents and the people who are just very near you, and just these kind of people. But all the other people, they have their own shit to do and to care about. They won't care about you or your shit or something. If you want to increase your chances of making a good impression in a meeting, sit towards the middle of the table. Okay. To increase the likelihood of someone liking you, get them to do you a favor, which is actually something I've read again. When you gossip about another person, listeners unconsciously associate you with the characteristics you are describing, ultimately leading to those characteristics being transferred to you, which is, which makes some kind of sense, because you're talking about these characteristics, and so this person connect these sentences and this word and this context with you telling them, so they're actually connected with you, which then maybe come to the decision or point towards the thing that you are what you are just describing right now. You know where I'm heading, what I mean, what I'm thinking about, even though it's just a little bit crazy maybe. But yeah, let's see. Where did I stop? It's always like I don't know where I stopped. But let's see. Yeah, we like people who are like us and find them far more persuasive than others, which is, as I was saying, we all just thinking about us. We like us. And if you're then the person who talks about the other person when having a conversation, this is just boom. These people just immediately like you. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Favors, or the more people who are around when a person is apparently in need of assistance, the lower the likelihood of anyone or any one person actually helping. This is actually something I've seen a lot, and I was thinking just, why does nobody help them? But the thing is, and it's a little bit a pity that they do not really explain why it is like it is. But let's see. Favors have the strongest effect when they occur between people who don't know each other very well, and when they are small but thoughtful. Fantasizing about your perfect world may make you feel better, but is unlikely to help transform your dreams into reality. Yeah, if you're just sitting around all day long, fascinating your perfect world and visualizing it and actually not doing anything, your reality is you just thinking about it. Some research suggests that eating more slowly, and I've read that, if you want to reduce your drinking, stay away from short wide glasses and stick to tall, narrow glasses. And actually, this is also something, it may be interesting, or it is so interesting to know why it is like it is. It's a pity that they do not point it out. Research shows that just placing food or drink out of sight or moving it a few meters away can have a big effect on consumption. So I have to read this again. Research shows that just placing food or drink out of sight or moving it a few meters away, this is actually true, because I know it in terms of drinking. If I do not have a bottle of water next to me, I won't drink anything the whole day long. I am not thirsty. But when there is actually a glass of water near me, I just drink all the time because I see it, which is, just amazing, or, crazy. It's crazy. I'd say crazy. To cut intake, make sure that tempting foods are out of sight and in a place that is difficult to access, such as top, cupboard, or basement. People eat significantly more when they are distracted at meal times and therefore not paying attention to their food. Also, when you're watching TV, you are probably eating way more than you should be eating, or than you would be eating, actually. Try cutting down on your eating by replacing your crockery and cutlery. Research conducted by the Kaiser Permanente Center for Health Research suggests that making a note of how much you can eat can help you lose weight. Research conducted by Charles Abraham Pascal Sheeran has shown that just a few moments thinking about how much you will regret not going to the gym will help motivate you to climb off the couch and onto an exercise bike. Which is actually true, because I think that all negative experiences and negative feelings just overwhelm our positives so much, by just 1000%. It's just amazing. It's also a little bit of pity. I really want to go through this one, but it's actually so late. But let's do it anyways. Christopher Patterson from the University of Michigan believes encouraging people to consider how they would like to be remembered after their death has various motivational benefits, including helping them to identify their long-term goals and assess the degree to which they are progressing towards making those goals a reality, which is also something I I'm thinking about a lot. I really want to be remembered as a person who was so kind, also successful, also, just that everybody is a little bit sad that I'm gone. This is something I want to achieve. I just, want to help people as good as I can with what I'm doing. To prime your mind into thinking creatively, spend a few moments describing a typical musician or artist. List their behaviors, lifestyle, and appearance. According to work conducted by psychologist Stephen Werkel from the University of Hawaii at Hilo, biscuits taken from a jar that is almost empty taste significantly better than identical cookies taken from a full jar. To help promote the chances of a successful date, choose an activity that is likely to get the heart racing. The theory is that your date will attribute their racing heart to you rather than the activity convincing themselves you have that special something, which totally makes sense, but nobody is actually thinking about this. And this is actually one of the reasons why I really love these books, because there is so much information you wouldn't really search for on the internet. These are just things I didn't think about, and this is amazing and this is good to know. And I was just thinking about how I could do it in terms of marketing, in terms of my content. Could I, do things in the thumbnail which are then just correlated or transmitted to my content so that my content seems better as it is or more interesting as it is. You know what I mean? The theory is that, the results revealed that just a few minutes focusing on the benefits that flowed from the seemingly hurtful experience helped participants deal with the anger and upset caused by the situation. They felt significantly more forgiving towards those who had hurt them and were less likely to seek revenge or avoid them. Yeah, surrounding yourself with objects that remind you of your partner is good for your relationship. People are far more likely to agree to a big request if they have already agreed to a small one, which is actually something I've been talking about before. If you want something from somebody, just, keep the yeses up. Ask them what time it is. They say, yes, I can give you the time. Could you tell me it again? Yes, I can. Could you also tell me where a restaurant is? Yes, they can. And then you actually ask them what you really wanted. And this is also something you can do for your funnels, your sale funnels. Just ask them for your data and ask them how they are doing and ask them yes or no things or things they will probably yes them, and this will lead to a good sale, or it seems to be. When making straightforward decisions, stick with the conscious mind by thinking about the pros and cons and when making straightforward decisions, stick with the conscious mind by thinking about the pros and cons and assessing the situation in a rational, level-headed way. However, for more complex choices, try giving your conscious mind a rest and letting your unconscious work. Research shows that when most people look back on their lives, they tend to regret things they didn't do, and not the things, and they weren't just happy about the things they did do. To help spot possible shifts, try establishing what researchers have referred to as an honest baseline. Before asking questions that are likely to elicit deceptive answers, start with those that are far more likely to make the person respond in an honest way. During these initial answers, develop an understanding of how they behave when they are telling the truth by looking at their body language and listening to the words they say. Then, during the answers to the trickier questions, watch out for the behavioral shifts outlined above. Which is, makes sense. Just really great information in this book. Research shows that people have a strong tendency to underestimate how long a project will take, and that people working in groups are especially likely to have unrealistic expectations. It seems that to get an accurate estimate of the time needed to complete a project, you need to look at how long it took to finish broadly similar projects in the past. Those who carried out the mental unpacking produced estimates that proved far more accurate than other participants. So those who carried out the mental unpacking. Okay. Research shows that people with surnames beginning with a letter towards the start of the alphabet, surnames, is it the first, are more successful in life than those with names towards the end. What's a surname? Surname? Family name. Okay. I really didn't get it right then. But you just can't take things like this for granted. This is just, research, and this doesn't have to be your reality, and it will not be my reality. Yes, it won't. It won't. But that's it for this episode. If you liked it, give me a like, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you the next time.